Ladies, about 90% of your roles should be with other ladies. Now, I know that's a big ask in some cases. Some schools still don't have very big women's programs. You may not have a lot of female training partners. However, try your best to make it happen if possible. You can cross-train. You can make sure that you roll just with the couple women that are with you often. And I know it's difficult, but there are very good reasons for it. The first is that it's very difficult for women to develop strong offensive skills if they're exclusively rolling with men, because men on average are just much bigger and stronger. And so if you're rolling with them, it's going to be much more difficult to take them down, pass their guard, pin them, and then eventually submit them. So what tends to happen with women that roll exclusively with men is that they become very, very strong defensively, but very weak offensively. They don't have very many good offensive skills, but they have very strong defensive skills. And you want both. You want to have good defensive skills and good offensive skills, and you can't develop those offensive skills realistically unless you're getting frequent submissions and frequent offensive transitions on your training partners. So if it's much harder to do against men, you should roll more so with women than with men. Now, when you're rolling with women, and I know this is also a big ask because there are still many programs that don't have many women, you should try to roll with women that are less skilled than you most of the time. Again, for the same reasons. Maybe you are exclusively rolling with women, but you're always seeking out the biggest and the toughest women that are on the mat. Well, again, you're primarily going to be practicing your defensive skills in those roles. You're not going to have an easy time getting sweeps, passing guard, pinning, submitting women that are bigger, stronger, more skilled, more experienced than you are. So if you want to develop those offensive skills, right, you kind of have to pick on the white belts. You have to pick on the ladies that haven't been there as often, right? I'm not saying like pick on them and be mean. I'm just saying you should roll with them and practice your offensive skills. You should practice your submissions. If you're not getting frequent submissions and frequent offensive transitions in your rolls, then you're simply not practicing them. You're not getting it in your muscle memory, and you're not developing the necessary skill sets. So most of your rolls should be with women. Most of those roles with women should be against women that are less skilled than you. Now, you might be thinking, well, Werther, what if I'm on the very bottom of the totem pole? There's no one less skilled than me. Well, there will be eventually. I know this sucks, but in the beginning, when you just start, you are primarily going to be working your survival skills and then your escape and defensive skills. So for the first few months, it might be like that. You might not hit a single offensive transition in your first few months of being there, but eventually you will. As you learn those defensive skills, you become more comfortable with how you're supposed to move. Then you get new women that start joining the program that are less skilled than you, that are new. You can start trying to practice your offensive sequences with them. This is a process that can take a while, okay? It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take several months. It's going to take, years to develop these skills, but you have to do them. Now, once you are comfortable with it, you should roll with men 10% of the time, maybe a little bit more, but you should occasionally roll with the guys too if you're comfortable with it, because it's important for you guys to understand what the strength and athleticism difference feels like when you're grappling. Because just the way that things are, 95% of violent crimes are committed by men. So if you are attacked in a self-defense situation, it is almost certainly going to be by a man. And so you need to understand what that size and strength and athleticism difference feels like when you're grappling. It's going to better prepare you for a self-defense situation. So it doesn't have to be all the time, like I said. It can just be 10% of the time. I still think the vast majority of your training time should be with women and with women that are less skilled than you. And again, guys, I know this is a big ask, but you can help your instructor grow their women's program too, right? I know you have lots of friends. Maybe not all of them are sold on jiu-jitsu, but try to bring in outside ladies into your school, because it's going to help make you better, right? Now, it's not just a selfish reason either. Obviously, jiu-jitsu is going to provide benefits to your friends as well, but it's going to increase the amount of women that are available for you to roll with, the amount of training partners that you have, and that's going to make everybody better, right? So I hope you guys liked this video. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button if you did. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. We'll see you next time.